Hi, this is my review of the Htc One X Plus. I'm reviewing the UK version, so it doesn't have any 4G. However, I don't see that as much of a downside, with the 4G network still being quite limited in the UK. First, I'm going to talk about the design of the phone. It's quite large. It's got a 4.7-inch 720p screen, which is one of the nicest screens I've ever seen on a phone. It's beautifully clear and really bright. Even on the lowest brightness setting, it's still more than adequate in any situation. The back of the phone isn't openable, and it's got a rubberized sort of polycarbonate finish on it that's a bit different to the original HTC One X. Nice and grippy and kind of gives it this nice matte black finish, which I really like. It has these red accents as well that kind of just make it look a bit funky and a bit different to other phones. So around the camera lens, the buttons at the bottom, and the Beats audio feature here. The phone runs 4.2 Jelly Bean with obviously HTC's 4 Plus Sense as well. It's brilliantly fast. Never found any lag with the phone at all, no matter what I'm doing. Awesomely fast. It's got a 1.7 quad-core Tegra 3 processor with 1GB of RAM, and it runs games absolutely beautifully with its NVIDIA graphics. The Tegra Store allows you to buy games that are not available normally in the normal Play Store, however have slightly better graphics, obviously to push the phone more to the limit so you have a better experience. I'm just going to run some benchmarks of the phone so you can see in sort of numbers what it looks like. I use Quadrant, so I'm just going to start that up and run that now. Let's run a full benchmark. In previous tests I've done of this phone, I have had sort of 7,399 and 7,264 as the scores that I've got, making it one of the fastest phones that there is on Quadrant. It runs consistently at about 55 to 60 frames per second through all of these screens. Just let it go through them. Yep. So in this one it's got a bit lower, it's only got about 5,700. Actually, I've got power saver on. However, yeah, in the past I've got about 7,300 without power saver on. On the topic of power saver, the battery of this phone was a large worry when I got this phone after what people have said about the HTC One X, which has only a 1,500 milliamp battery, whereas this one was upgraded to a 2,100 milliamp battery. And that means that the phone now should last a day of use on medium usage. You won't have much left at the end of the day, however, it is considerably better than what I've heard about the One X. The camera of the phone is very nice. It's got a 2 megapixel front-facing camera, which is an upgrade over the 1.6 megapixel on the One X. It's got an 8 megapixel front-facing camera. There are lots and lots of settings you can choose on this phone. It's very customizable. You can choose ISO, obviously the balance. There's also a face detection and lots of features like this. The camcorder on the phone records in 1080p. And it's reasonably smooth. It doesn't cope really that well with fast moving images. However, overall it's pretty good. It also has a feature you can record in slow-mo at 360 frames per second. While there's not a huge amount of use for this feature, it is pretty cool to see things in slow-mo. There's the music of this phone as well, as something I'm quite impressed by. The original One X wasn't particularly loud. However, this phone has had an amplifier put into it, so it's a lot louder. I'll just give a little demo. Let's turn the sound up. Don't know how that's going to come out on the video, however. It sounds pretty reasonable sitting next to it, and it's easily loud enough to, when you've got it on full volume. The phone, when I ordered it, came with some Beats audio headphones, the Beats, that were are very nice, and that also complements the feature of Beats audio on here, which you can turn on and off, which doesn't work on the phone's internal speakers. However, if you're connected to a Bluetooth device or headset, it really makes a difference. Quite a lot of people have heard saying that all it does is really sort of boost the bass of the phone. However, when I've been using it, I have noticed it does make songs a bit clearer and just generally a bit nicer to listen to. I don't know whether that's particularly down to the fact I listen to quite a lot of sort of punk and rock music, which, work well with lots of bass. However, I quite like it as a feature, and I think that's quite a nice little add-on you have. Overall, I'm very pleased with the phone. I think it's really, really nice. Comparing it to other phones, I prefer the look of this phone to the Galaxy S3. But that's just really a personal issue. I just really like the matte black, and I think the S3 looks a bit like a pebble, to be honest. But, either phone is really nice phones, but it's just personal preference. But, if you're looking at phones and you see a good deal on the HTC One X, don't hesitate to buy it. It's pretty cool. Thanks for listening.